Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a disassembly and maintenance video for you on this little guy right here. This is the Gerber Knives Sedulo, or something along those lines. This is the latest made-in-the-USA knife coming out of Gerber Gear. First off, just in the name of full disclosure, this guy was sent to me directly from Gerber. We have to assume this is the very best quality-controlled one of these guys ever. Doing my best not to let that affect the nature and quality of this disassembly. I probably could have saved this for the main review, but there you go. A couple of things to just kind of note to start with. The centering on this guy is actually good, although the sharpening is absolutely not. It looks like the blade is actually centered, even if the tip is sharpened off to kind of one side there. And so there's that. Everything else, action on this guy is not amazing to start with, but I think that's just because it needs some lubrication. And so we'll get up in there. And then finally, we're going to go on ahead, and I'm going to do this disassembly in two different ways. I'm going to start off by taking it all the way apart, just to see what we got going on inside there. But in practice, I suspect that what you're going to need to do, if this functions like every other sliding bar lock ever, all you really need to do is remove this center screw here. And so I'll put it back together in such a way that you'll kind of, then we'll do my suggested disassembly, which are two different things in the case of these sliding bar style locks. So, okay, let's go ahead and pop this guy open. Using a T8 screwdriver here. And by the way, if you're curious about this or any of the tools I use in my disassembly videos, like literally any of them, nickshabazz.com/tools. What we have here is a little bit of thread locker on there, on a reasonable screw there. Then I'm going to go on ahead and it's a very, very small aperture for that. I'm going to go ahead and try and push the pivot out of here. I'm going to disengage the sliding bar lock and push the pivot through and out. This allows the blade to be, no wonder it's running poorly. The heck? What have they done on this blade? Okay, we're going to deal with that in a second here. Looks like the coating is coming off of the blade and gumming up the works. This should run a lot better once we're done here. But okay, in practice, this is all you actually need to do. The only thing that you really need to do in order to clean this knife out is to take this out, to push the pivot through. It's a relatively thin pivot, and then to clean the knife up in this area here. Everything else in the handle doesn't really need to be serviced. Maybe if you get it really mucky and dirty and salty, you want to take the whole thing apart, clean things off, but for the most part, for your everyday service, all you need to do is exactly what I've just done here. What on earth? Is this a... Okay, sorry, I've just gone off the... Oh my God, that's all brass. Okay, this is interesting. This is different. Holy crap. This knife is... Okay. What we have going on here is not a set of phosphor bronze washers or anything like that on top of the steel. We have here a bushing. Basically, they have put in here a bushing here. The blade does not spin around it. This appears to be press fit into the blade, and then that just slides in here. So this actually is even easier to disassemble than usual because there is no... this just pushes against the liners here, and the liners themselves are coated, so we're seeing the blackness of the liners there. Oh, wow, that's different. And so what we see here is, as we would expect, we see this sticking through to either side. Oh, wow, I have never seen this. I really legitimately have never seen that on a pocket knife before. That's not what I expected here. Okay. So in practice, then, this becomes the easiest to disassemble and maintain knife ever. If I were just doing this for myself, so to speak, I would come through here with just a little bit of a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol on it. I would clean this off. Boom, problem solved. Break the Q-tip in half. This is a trick I learned from notorious EDC. He's another EDC guy, as you might imagine, and is rather notorious. But just to hold the sliding bar in position... Then I push this guy, I would lubricate. So I'm going to actually do my full disassembly how I would recommend you do it first, and then we'll take the whole thing apart. You lubricate a little bit here, and here, holy crap, that's weird. Then you put a little bit onto the internals there. Oh, let's not set that down like that. Then you slide the whole affair in here. You push the pivot through. Is there a... this is D-shaped, so I need to figure out which side is the one that is... So the pivot itself has a D shape to it, so I just need to figure out which side is the narrow one. Looks like... That's weird. Okay. Well, I'm just going to jam it in there and see which way it goes. Okay, yeah, so it's not visible there, but it looks like if I just... Oh, yep, there it was. That's the orientation I need. Push this back part of the way out through. Now, take this, insert, wiggle back and forth, then I screw in the pivot, and we're done. And, you know, that's easy. Now the knife is put back together. I just screw it in place here. I'll do that so you understand. I kind of like that construction. I haven't yet kind of fully visualized what that means for the knife, but like already, that's way smoother. I didn't even lubricate the back of this, which you want to do here. That's novel. Huh. Too tight. That is very interesting. No play in either direction. Oh, that's better. Well, okay then. So this is now running great. That's practically speaking all you need to actually do to take the damn thing apart, but let's go on ahead and jump into it a little deeper just so we see how this knife is actually constructed. This is more from the sort of academic sense of, oh, how does the knife work, than anything, and so let's go on ahead and do that. What I'm seeing here is we have one screw on this side, two, okay. I will again just push the pivot out, and that will take the blade out of play, so I don't have to worry about that. And see, this will definitely get better because we can already see some of the liner coating is coming off onto the brass there. So each time I use this, it's going to wear in a little bit more. But what we'll do here is take the other side off. This looks like T6 here. Whoa! That had a little more in the way of thread locker on there. Interesting. That's... I was not expecting to be surprised today. But it's not an unpleasant surprise. I mean, the big question, obviously, is that, you know, brass is softer than steel, but at the same time, so you might, in theory, get a little bit of wear on the inside of the hole there. Full liners, too? Okay, I mean, now what we see is actually... This is, again, not important, not necessary as you're doing this, but... We see full liners here. We see what looks to be some kind of a brass insert here. Again, I'm not quite sure on the metallurgy. Allowing the clip to be switched to the other side, which makes this a completely ambidextrous knife. We see the lanyard hole cut out in the back here, which is beautiful. We see that this is using some variety or another of an omega-shaped sprue. Sprue. It's a lot like a spring, actually. It's a sprue. But no, and so it's got that kind of thing going on. We see that in order to fully disassemble this guy, if we wanted to, what I would do is have to take off this other scale here, which I don't honestly feel much in the way you need to do. But I take off the other scale, slide this bar through this bigger hole right here, that way, and then we're completely all set. But we see internal standoffs. This one we don't even actually is not visible. This back one, that is. From the outside world, full liners going all the way through. This is interesting. They have gone, speaking of things I wasn't expecting to say today, they've actually gone a little above and beyond here. The reason I say that, again, is that this, it would have been very easy to do like a very small partial liner or something like that, as is very, very often the case from their competition. That is, other people making sliding bar-style locks, but they didn't here. And I'm just cleaning this off again because, again, each time you use this, you're going to see a little bit of the black gunk come off until these washers wear away the coating on the liner. Maybe it would have been nice if the inside of the liner not been coated or something like that, although then it would have looked less aesthetically beautiful. But either way, but no, they've done the full liner here. They've got, from the looks of it here, they've got a spring running on both sides, yep, which is what you'd expect. I can't obviously speak to the quality of the springs. That is definitely a point of failure for sliding bar-style locks, but honestly, they did a little bit more than they had to here, and I appreciate that. That's especially given Gerber's well, shall we say recent history, not recent, but maybe 10-year history, it is wise for them to be going above and beyond. It is wise, and this isn't screwing into plastic. This is screwing into the internal standoff that you can't barely see. Nice. Okay. Let's tighten that down there. But it is nice to see them going above and beyond. It really is. That's exactly what they need to be doing right now. And, okay. Screw that in. And now, one more time, I do exactly what I advised you to do. I'm going to go ahead, because there was a little bit of extra, there was a little bit of the black paint from the liner there coming off, or DLC. I don't know if it's painted, if it's DLC'd. I don't have any real idea. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to coat this, whatever the hell this thing's called. Like a mono washer, bushing. Probably bushing is probably the best choice here. But then I'll go ahead, drop this in place again. And again, the purpose of this thing is just to make sure that the sliding bar thing isn't in place, isn't fully in position, because that makes it difficult for everything to snap in. Just going to rotate this until it is in the proper positioning. This is not where I expected to be impressed today, but I am very happy to be impressed, right? I need to get this popped in. Come on now. I'm just applying some downwards pressure here. Maybe I'll go this route so I can see. Yep, okay, it's too far back. Just applying downwards pressure, pushing this all the way through. And then now I can grab some thread locker. I'll go ahead and I'll clean up the pivot screw a little bit, make sure I got all the other thread lock off. And clean this, not clean this up. Put a little thread lock on there. Beautiful. And now, just tighten this up. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I appreciate that very much. Okay, right now it is too loose. Yes, I have blade play. That's not great. Let's tighten this up. Okay, now it is too tight. I have no blade play. Now we make it looser until I do not have blade play, but I do have free action. Centering is good to go. Holy crap. Yes, great. Well done, Gerber. Well done. If nothing else, look, I don't have a strong opinion, and structural engineers, let me know your thoughts on that lock in the middle there, on having the bushing in the middle there, but honestly, my initial impressions are very positive. Seeing them going the extra mile by putting that standoff in the back, that's nice. Seeing them using, full metal construction all throughout the damn thing, that's nice. Seeing them try something new and different by virtue, there is the slightest bit of play. Let me tighten that back up again. But seeing that washer-based thing in the middle there, hold on, there we go. It was human error. Seeing the washer-based thing, that's nice too. Okay. Now the question becomes price. I haven't looked at the price yet, and I'm not gonna until I'm ready to film the review. But so far, this is much smoother. Oh, and then, of course, I'm sorry, I gotta make sure I get the back of this. The reason you want to lubricate the back of the blade thing here is just so that the sliding bar lock, as it slides, is sliding across a lubricated surface, rather than just being, yeah. There we go. Beautiful. Well done. I'm very happy to see that. That's excellent. So, okay, there you go. Hope this has been interesting to you, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.